What's the big idea? I've had some ideas in my time, some good, some not so good. Tonight I want to talk about where good ideas come from, what a bad idea looks like, and how to turn an idea into a reality. These pictures are taken by me, by the way. Ideas are born from inspiration. Inspiration can come from anywhere, including people or places. One of the most inspiring places I ever found is Cave City, Kentucky. I fell in love with the kitschy roadside attractions, and I just wanted to join the fun. It inspired me a little too much, perhaps. More on that bad idea later. Louisville is a good place to turn ideas into a reality. It's not New York, it's not LA, it's Louisville. It's easy to get noticed here. And we are landlocked, so we have to be a little more creative to spice things up around here. And I want to talk a little bit how I've got noticed here in Louisville. I don't wait until an idea is fleshed out to begin. I get excited and I just start moving towards making it a reality. The idea guides me and the passion drives me. I just make it up as I go and I learn everything I need to know as I go along. Making your baby fly is easier than ever. That's my baby, by the way. Social media is free and it's incredibly effective if used correctly. Things like crowdsource funding make starting up very low risk. Be weird, be unique, and you will get noticed. My retail store, Y Louisville, an unofficial fan club for the city, started with no investment and no formal business plan. The creative sustainability of the store comes from the diversity of its contributing artists. Y Louisville has grown over the last 8 years and is now opening a second location in New Lou with an art gallery. The idea was to provide a central hub for local artists and to showcase Louisville's creative community. It has manifested in a myriad of ways that I did not anticipate, while the underlying idea remained the same. We've had art shows, t-shirts, products, design contests, window display, artist installations, and beyond. Another idea was to gather fellow fans of The Big Lebowski together in a bowling alley and dress in costume and drink White Russians. This simple formula has remained intact and has grown into a traveling international phenomenon. Lebowski Fest is fan-driven. The fan community has over 60,000 Facebook followers as of today. One of the many high points of the Lebowski Fest was the cast reunion last year in New York. That's John Goodman, Steve Buscemi, Jeff Bridges, and Julianne Moore, and John Turturro backstage. It's a really bad picture, but that is them. It sold out faster than any event in the Hammerstein Ballroom history, and I was quoted as saying, "Take that, David Bowie." Not all ideas are success. Kentucky Rushmore was an idea I had to build a mountain in Cave City with the heads of Abraham Lincoln, Muhammad Ali, Secretariat, and Colonel Sanders. It was too big and it failed. I wrote a business plan and said, I can't do this. So I was left with hundreds of t-shirts, 5 business entities, and bills to be paid. After a period of failure sulking, I did bounce back. I learned many lessons, like don't put the cart in front of the horse, like don't print a bunch of t-shirts and hire lawyers and accountants before you know if the idea is going to work or not. So once I kind of moved past the failure of Kentucky Rushmore, my daughter was born and I was re-inspired. I took on a project I've been wanting to do for several years called Pee Wee over Louisville. When I was 12 years old and entered the Pee Wee Herman contest, instead of shaming me, my dad joined me. That's him right there. It's Pee Wee Herman. It's that kind of support that has encouraged me along the way. Pee Wee over Louisville will be my daughter Stella's 1-year birthday party. It's going to be a family-friendly event with marching bands, puppet shows, carnival games, a bike parade, and a screening of the movie. I set up a Facebook page about a month ago, and it's already got over 3,000 followers. People have been waiting for someone to say it's okay to like Pee Wee Herman. My next dream is to build a Kentucky-themed putt-putt course called Puttin' in Kentucky. It'll have holes themed around the Kentucky Derby, Colonel Sanders, Abe Lincoln, a moonshine still, and more. It's kind of a redemption for Kentucky Rushmore. It's a much smaller thing. I'm going to use Kickstarter on that one. So ideas are abundant. Find one that captivates you and make it a reality. Don't worry what others think. Their projected opinions will only slow you down. Cities like Portland and Austin have thriving creative communities because they work together and support one another. Louisville needs more lovers and less haters. My advice is to just start moving and see how high the idea takes you. My two most successful projects were started with no formal business plan and no upfront investment. If the idea is powerful enough, it will perpetuate itself into being. Don't be afraid to fall. It can only make you stronger. That's my wife. She's climbing there at the City Museum. My mom once bought me a book called Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow. I never actually read this book, but I did take the title to heart. My approach has always been a positive one, and being a fan of things has opened all kinds of doors for me. Fan of The Big Lebowski, I got to travel the country. A fan of Louisville, I got to open a retail store. It's a good thing. Also, I don't take myself too seriously. This is me backstage after dressing up like a giant bowling pin at the New York thing. This is a rare moment of me enjoying something. This is me enjoying an ice-cold Coca-Cola in a wine glass there. So be silly, be yourself. People will still respect you in the morning. And I've surrounded myself with good people that have helped me move towards my dreams and to making them a reality. I have learned that real power comes from collaboration. Listen to other people. Sometimes they have amazing ideas. Many of the good ideas I've been a party to have happened in the presence of others. So in summation, some ideas are good, some are not so good, but you never know until you try. If I can do it, you can do it. Just get out there and get started. Make your mark and just keep repeating to yourself, you go, girl.